Rich doing what he was doing, and there was enough market that somebody maybe else would have paid Draymond, but I would have made him show me. Like I believe in playing pay people. I believe in paying players for what they can do for you, not for what they've done. In this case, you're not going to see the return on investment here from me. What do you think about this trade? Oh, you said you think this one is fair.
I think it's
Okay,
fair. I think Draymond was never gonna leave. I don't.
no,
I think the only place that he really will. I say this. The only place he really entertained to me was, um,
LA.
uh, Trailblazers. Draymond ain't never not played with a friend. Like he's been Steph and him are friends. Him and Claire, they're all close friends.
You don't think Rich Paul was leveraging the Lakers?
25 million a year. Who would? Yeah, 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 yes. I agree with you. Rich Paul is definitely, but I'm trying to figure out through what the Lakers signed, who would you not have gotten instead of for Draymond?
All the rest of them boys, because the rest, well, we'll get there. But the rest, like all of those guys, cumulatively, what you put together is what you want is Draymond. Next guy up, 5 years, 160 million. You did hear that right, Jeremy Grant.
Overpay.
This is what I would consider a hell fuck no. Not doing it. Not now, not ever. He is going to be, I think, mid 30s when this contract is over. I'm not paying him anywhere near this much. I know y'all probably don't want to hear this, but this makes the John Collins Utah deal look way better now. I'd much rather have John Collins for 3 years at 75 million than 5 years of Jeremy Grant at 160 million. That must be crack. No way. I think this is a terrible deal. I think that this is a desperation Dame deal. And if I'm Dame, I'm still getting out because this
I was
doesn't
about
make the
to
team
ask you.
better.
I was about to ask you. Does this? I think this is a.
Dame said make the team better. This does not make this is the same team.
I think that this, to me, this is a move to tell me that they're definitely trading Dame. That's what this is to me. Like they're
Well,
definitely
why
trading
wait
Dame.
till now?
He's definitely out of there. Like you don't pay Jeremy Grant 5 years of $660 million if you're trying to make the team better.
What? What did I like Jeremy Grant as a 2K player? Where has Jeremy Grant ever had any positive influence on a team?
Oh well, no. I mean, nowhere positive influence. Okay. Jeremy Grant and Kyle Kuzma are the same person. If that's what you want to say, like they're the same people.
No, 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 no,
They
no, no,
are.
no, no, no.
Where has
Okay.
Kyle Kuzma ever
Oh,
had a positive, meaningful influence on a decent team?
okay. Well, okay. So let me give you the difference between Kyle Kuzma and Jeremy Grant, and then by then I'll tell you I'll be able to explain why one is not worth 160 and Kyle Kuzma is worth 102. Kyle Kuzma is offense only. That's it. He plays no defense, no leadership, no passing, nothing but offense. Jeremy Grant is a decent defender. He's a decent rebounder,
We haven't heard about Jeremy
and he's
Grant
just
in
a
a long
better
time.
overall player. I have no sound from you anymore. Um, but for me, no. Jeremy Grant deserves more than Kyle Kuzma because he's a better basketball player than Kyle Kuzma because he can do things that Kyle Kuzma cannot do. Hands down. Full
Oh,
stop.
only thing he can do.
But
Oh,
$160 million is way, way, way too much. Kyle Kuzma, since we're talking about him, 4 years, 102 million.
hold on, hold on,
That's
hold on, hold
not
on. No, 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 no. You got sound for me now, right?
yes.
Okay, no. Let's back on up right there. Kyle Kuzma and Jeremy Grant are. Kyle Kuzma hasn't had a meaningful impact like at all, like on any
You're
good team. And Jeremy
you're
Grant
correct.
is the same person. Now, Jeremy Grant, I don't know. Oh, that's what I was saying. Portland is definitely making this deal to get rid of Dame. And I see the Dame to Miami play along. It's plain as day to me. They shed money, Portland spending money. And they spending money on regular people. If you spending money on regular people and somebody says make me a title contender, that means the person that says make me a title contender is on their way out the door. They're gonna make you a title
Yeah.
contender with another team. This is
Well,
What else?
I will say like I think that the divorce it's time. You need to break up. And if you can get Tyler Hero, you
That's
can
Dame's
get
fault too.
Duncan, you can get Duncan Robinson. You already got Scoot Henderson. You got Jeremy Grant. You got Yusuf Nurkic for another couple years. You know, with the draft picks, I would assume that they demand from Miami. Then yeah, you can kind of rebuild this thing around Scoot Henderson, and you got a couple guys who can score and can shoot.
Does Miami
I
have any
don't.
draft picks?
Why wouldn't they?
W- Didn't they trade? No, they got Jimmy Butler in free agency.
Yeah.
They didn't they? They signed Kyle Lowry in free agency, or did they trade? For him?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There you go. The play for Dame to me now. If Dame goes somewhere else, and it's probably going to happen because I'm so sure that he's going to go to Miami. The play is being run. This is the annexation of Puerto Rico.
And I like that for both parties. I want them both to go in a different direction. I think we beat our head against the wall enough for this Portland. There's no question of your integrity or your love for Portland, but it just didn't work. Now, I don't think that Kyle Kuzma is an overpay. I think that right now, with the increase in salary cap going up like 10% a year, 4 years for 25 million dollars is a fair price for Kyle Kuzma, specifically in Washington, where you're just paying him to be there because nobody. I don't think when Harrison Barnes went back to the Kings, that went Kyle Kuzma's biggest bargaining chip. Because I thought that would have been a good move for Kyle Kuzma, but I don't think that the Kings were interested in paying him 25 plus.
They paid Harrison what, 16, 18 million? I think
yeah, and you can kick the can down there another year. You can try to draft another guy. You guys have done a pretty good job with talent acquisition. There's no need to overpay on Kyle Kuzma, who you really don't believe in, when you got to pay De'Aaron Fox and you got to pay Domantas Sabonis. Bro, either way, if you overpaid him, he'd be another guy headed to Toronto in 2 years. So I think that the Kings made a very good decision. I think that 4 years, $102 million in Washington, I don't hate that deal. You got Jordan Poole. I looks like they're probably going to bring Denny back.
He's making 32. Jeremy Grant is making $32 million a year. And Kyle
That
Kuzma
is bad.
is making $25.4 million a year. So you guys in Portland think Jeremy Grant is $12 million better than Kyle Kuzma, or $8 million better than Kyle Kuzma per year.
No, I think that they're in
my nose is itching. Lord, what is this? What is this?
I think they're doing the same kind of thing where they're trying to, hey Jeremy, this team is about to be worse, so we're gonna have to pay you a little bit more to stay here. I think that Jeremy Grant was supposed to be a $25 to $27 million player. I think that Kyle Kuzma was supposed to be a $22 to $25 million player. So, you know, they got a little bit of extra money to stay in a city that
Portland
is probably good. I don't think that they're stupid. I think they're just going in a different direction. If they're going to let him go, yeah, we want to be able, you have to do a good job of Dame Lillard has requested a trade out of Portland. This is the reason that you show up every Saturday and you come to Saturday Morning Live. We break them right on air.
What did Reggie? Hey, no, this is my turn.
Said it.
This is my turn. I get to say I told y'all. I just said 37 seconds ago that this deal is a deal. You don't pay Jeremy Grant 5 years, 160 if Dame is not out of here. You know what? Yeah. And Dame, please tell me Dame's going. If Dame goes to Miami. You listen. I'm gonna yell at y'all because I don't ever get to say I told y'all. I always say we told y'all, but the I told y'all happened 1 minute ago. Dame request out of Miami. Man, I forgot to turn on the IG chat on here.
Wait, hold on. While we here, also remember follow, subscribe. There's only one podcast that break it live like this on Saturday. It's us, your HBCU homeboys. So yes, Jeremy Grant in. That also means Dame Lillard out.
Dame is out of there. I told y'all.
I don't think that Kuz is that bad of a situation. Honestly, I'm starting to look at the Wizards, and the more that I look at their team, the more that I don't hate it. They got Tyus Jones for basically free from Memphis. You're gonna have Jordan Poole at the 2.
Scoring champion. You heard it here first. Jordan Poole,
yeah.
scoring champion next year.
He's gonna shoot every shot that he can shoot. Now I don't know if that actually means anything good. Man, no. AJ, can't believe you even asked that.
Come on, man. AJ, so shout out to AJ for trolling. We are up on YouTube, Facebook as well. We finally got it going, so we here. We fully live. Y'all went and watch the NBA live free agency shows, dry as hell. Welcome to the Splashcast live, Saturday morning live free agency show. We told y'all Dame was out of there. Shout out to Wendy. We told y'all Dame was out of there. He's gone. Kyle Kuzma, we were talking about Kyle Kuzma, but we're going to go back to the Blazers now. So the Blazers are in full rebuild mode. Have to be. Full rebuild. Unless, if he goes to Miami, there's nothing you can get back. You can't get nothing back. I mean, you get Tyler
Yes,
Hero.
You can.
Tyler
Hero, Duncan Robinson. I want draft picks. And I probably want that young boy, Nikola Jokic, the one that's like 18, 19
He's
years
definitely
old.
been in all of the trade scenarios for Miami.
Give me those 3 guys. And, I want 3 first and probably a pick swap. I want if I'm going to help you win a championship, then you sure as hell about to give me.
I'm giving you 3 first, a pick swap, and them, and you're going to have a shit ton of cap money. If I'm Miami, you have to throw in extra picks and try to pawn off Fat Lowry. You gotta get Fat Lowry off the books. Or you can keep him. Actually, if you get rid of Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, you could keep him and sign other people. Which, okay, this is another point. If Dame goes to Miami and they trade, they should have a little bit more. No, they still have to get rid of Lowry to be able.
Yeah. They're like, that's the reason that the players that I'm asking for are going to be reasonable players. Just because Miami has to still get off the money to make the Dame money work, because Dame gets paid so much money. This is interesting. This is surely interesting. We will as the news rolls in, we'll continue to stop breaking address. But let's get back. Next one that I really did not expect, plan, or see to fall this way. Bruce Brown to the Pacers after they said they were going to keep Bruce for 2 years, $45 million. One major caveat on this deal is it's a 2-year deal with a second-year team option. I consider this a 1-year deal.
I thought it was a player option.
Nope, it's a team option.
Okay.
You know Bruce Brown gonna take the second year, $20-something million. You might as well just. No.
So Bruce Brown, that makes me look at this totally different now. I thought it was a player option, and the player option then allows him to say, "Yeah, I want the money." And I was like, "Okay, if you get 2 years, $45 million with the player option, then at that point, that's why you get that big contract. Instead of getting 3 to 5 years, you take less years for more money and a player option. But for him to have a team option,
but you got to think, for his whole career, I think he's made $15 million. So if I can go get 20 in 1 year, and then maybe they keep me around the next year, then yeah, I'm willing to do that. It's worth the try for me, especially if they're not that good the next year. Then yeah, I could do a sign and trade. It gives everybody an opportunity to kind of continue. But this is the only place that will pay him $20 million. Pacers trying to, and that's the other thing about all of these young bad teams. They gotta get players good enough so that they can be at least mildly competitive, or you run the risk of the players just leaving, like, bro, I want out of here. I don't want to be a part of this losing culture. Same thing, I think.
That's why you take the money, because it's a losing culture.
Yes. But I'm talking about the rookies. They're still on their rookie scale. They get used to losing. They're going to say, this is a losing organization. I don't want to play for you losers. Then you're stuck. Because if you noticed, as soon as they signed Bruce Brown, what did they have very next day? We might as well go to it right now. They signed Tyrese Halliburton, 5 years, $260 million. Yes, second from the bottom.
Oh, there it is. Tyrese Halliburton, 5-year, $260 million with all NBA triggers. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you
mean
gotta pay him. You gotta pay like that. You gotta pay him. You gotta pay him.
that is number one. That's the guy of your team. Not only is that the guy of your team, you traded Domantas Sabonis for him, so that is the cornerstone of your team. That's the going rate for young guys who have all-star appearances as he does. That's what you
And
pay him.
and we're not saying. I mean, it was that might have been one of the fairest trades that they've got that we've had in terms of return so far. But
Successful trade on both parties.
you definitely have to lock him up though. And now,
Yeah.
but now that you have him locked up, you do have Bruce Brown because I mean, he plays okay defense, but Bruce Brown is the defensive whatever position he plays, point.
He's gonna play. He's gonna play the
guard,
three.
guard
He's
forward.
gonna play. Yeah, he's gonna play the three. You're gonna have you have Halliburton at the one. I assume you probably have Benedict Mathurin at the two.
I feel like you would
Bruce
have Bruce
Brown
at the two, but it's really more. It's really three guards.
matchup base.
Yeah,
Matchup
three
based.
guards or three forwards and two guards or whatever you think
Yeah.
Benedict Mathurin is. Like
Yeah.
the whole thing of point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward. Those days are officially gone.
No. Halliburton is the point guard on this team. He is
No. What I'm
off-
saying is Halliburton and three other guards or two other guards and two forwards. This is positionless basketball at this point.
correct. Yeah, Miles Turner, I would assume to be locked in there.
You only got one more year. He only signed a 2-year, 80 or 50, $40 million, whatever it was.
Yeah,
He
but
paid like
I
$30
think
million.
I assume that I will double down on that now. I will go ahead and
Why? The Lakers still can trade. They have a lot of assets to trade for him if he decides he wants to leave.
Boy, I don't want none of that shit. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. All right, going back, Bruce Brown. It's a 1-year deal. I mean, they have the money to spend. You might as well spend it and at least try it. Next up, we got Max Strus to the Cavs for 4 years, $64 million. You get some shooting around the Twin Towers. I think that this was a solid deal. My thing is, like, for these deals that I'm looking at, I always think, like, is this guy going to be the six? You either need to be a starter or a six-man with about the money that he's getting paid. I don't know if I don't think that Strus is your six-man. Boy, I guess he has to be. I guess he is the six-man. You're right, because they traded
starting three on that team.
No, they paid Karis LeVert.
Karis LeVert didn't start last year.
Yes, but I assume that you're not going to pay. I think Isaac Okoro is the odd man out here because no, George Niang, he's your starting three. They signed him too.
I disagree. I think Max Strus is your starting three, and they may end up playing him at the 4 if they get rid of. They can trade Jared Allen like they talking about. They trying to.
If you put Max Strus at the 4, Evan Mobley will be. I think Evan Mobley is very good, but I also think that what makes Evan Mobley look very good is he's next to Jared Allen. If it's any time that you see Evan Mobley play without Jared Allen, he looks not regular, but he looks like a guy pretty good, not nearly as good. Evan Mobley is a 4 until proven otherwise. He is not ready to take that 5 mantle, and especially not with Darius Garland, who don't play no whole lot of defense. Spider, who don't play a lot of defense. Then you're going to throw Max Strus out there, who don't play a lot of defense. Karis LeVert ain't the best defender in the world. Nah, you're going to make it bad on a guy before he can get good.
Well, since we're here, I'm actually interested about what the Cavs are going to do.
No, I would have him come off the bench as him and George Niang. Now, I do think that off the bench, you got some shooters now. Which does help.
But they don't have a front court. So all of this means they're not getting rid of Jared Allen. Then all of that was smoke. All of that was smoke.
No. Now, in hindsight, what I think they should have probably done, since I see what he went for, they should have went after Jackson Hayes. I think that Jackson Hayes, while probably not as good as Jared Allen today, he is younger. I think he fits in the timeline better, and he's cheaper. And Allen was an asset you could have probably traded to a team like Charlotte who still needs a 5.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to Jackson Hayes.
Cavs are doing their damnedest, but when Evan Mobley wants his money, this thing falls apart. I hate to tell y'all.
I will say I think I am happy. This is one of the undrafted boys from Miami.
Amani Bates. Oh no.
This is one of the and it got Amani Bates. This is one of the undrafted boys from Miami that got his money. Hey man, that's why I clapped earlier. I wasn't clapping because of the Cavs or Miami. I don't give a shit. But I'm just happy that somebody, an undrafted free agent, undrafted rookie free agent, ended up getting a good contract. One of them. And shout out to Miami for turning these undrafted guys into picks.
Now, and this is the other part about this, man. I want to be very clear. Playing in Miami culturally comes with its own thing. Don't think because you got that out of them in Miami that they just gonna mystically show up in your organization and be that same person. The Heat have a culture, and Jimmy Butler is a large part of that culture. Unless you plan to have Jimmy Butler on your team holding these guys accountable every night, I'm not sure if everybody who looked like that in Miami is gonna look like that somewhere else.
Yeah. Sneaky, do me a favor and drop this in the 104B group me for me. Drop it. Thank you. Yeah, Strus, I mean, I don't think he's going to get another contract like this unless he gets better.
Hell no.
I think Strus has reached his ceiling, and I think he will get these contracts for the rest of his. I think he has definitely, if he can continue to play defense and stay in shape like he learned in Miami, I think he's carved out a role in the league he's going to get another contract after this. He'll get another 4 or 5 years, $60 million. And that'll be the end of the year. He'll have a solid role player career. So shout out to Max Strus for that, man. Imani Bates is interesting, but we'll go here to Black Mamba.
Next up, we have Kyrie Irving, 3 years, $126 million.
$42 million a year for a work from home player. You have $42 million a year.
So this is my thing with that is I don't think that this is an overpay. I think that Kyrie Irving, when playing, and he has ever since he wasn't playing in Brooklyn, is one of the best point guards in the NBA. And I dare anybody to prove me wrong. And if you're telling me that you can get one of the best point guards in the NBA, that's what it's going to cost. You can go ahead and ask the Houston Rockets. That's what point guards cost. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton just got 5 years, $260 million. Kyrie Irving, 3 years, $126 million. Expensive, but I don't hate it.
You know I got to do this every time. If Trae Young did what Kyrie did, off the court, everything that Kyrie's done, his resume, and you put that with Trae Young, would you pay Trae Young 3 years, $126 million?
If I was Dallas and I was desperate, yeah, I might not want to do it, but that's what.
Would you pay Trae? So you're saying Dallas paid him because they're desperate. You don't think Dallas could have used that money and gotten anybody else to play with Luka?
What I'm saying is Dallas has continuously tried to find superstars, and for whatever reason, they haven't been able to procure one. Unfortunately, this is the best you can get right now. And I think that Mark Cuban is a shrewd businessman. If he could have got a better one, I think we all understand Kyrie is mercurial. He comes with his own set of issues. If I could have got somebody else, I would have gotten them, but this is what I got.
I think
and let's not act like Kyrie ain't a killer now. He's a killer.
Well, I don't think they signed him because I think they signed him because of skill and all that stuff, but I think they had to. Didn't they trade a shit ton of picks? Didn't they trade a bunch of players?
No, not really. They
traded all their role players, and a couple first round picks, I believe.
I think it was just Dorian, DFS. It was one more person, but those were guys who they had come to the end of the road. this team is not going to be competitive as a championship team. So at that point, let's get these guys off the books and let's go get Kyrie and see what that looks like. And that's what they kind of are. Their biggest issue is still working on that front court. They got Rayshawn Holmes. I think it's an upgrade, but I don't know if that's enough of an upgrade
in the draft, which is he's supposed to
exactly
be one of the best big men in the draft, if not the best.
I will be trying to move Tim Hardaway Jr. to a team. You know, honestly,
everybody can go, except for the $42 million people and the people I just trade for. Everybody else, except Green, I'll keep Green. But who else? They already got rid of Christian Wood.
I'm telling you,
they got 4 people on the roster as far as I'm concerned.
If I'm Dallas, I am trying to get Scotty Barnes from the Raptors.
Oh, they already said they building around him.
Well, you can't build around him, and you're going to keep Pascal and OG Anunoby.
And pay Gary Trent Jr. But, I mean, you also just save some money by losing Fred VanVleet, so.
Yeah, but you had to replace him with Dennis Schroeder, who y'all know I love Schroeder.
Cheap. That's cheap, though.
Yeah, but that your team is worse now, and you weren't good last year. You weren't good last year, and you just got substantially worse.
I don't know if they've got suspended. I think they were an 8 seed. They're now a 9 seed. I mean,
you don't think that Fred VanVleet to Dennis Schroeder is a substantial
for that team? I don't know if it's. The Raptors are inconsequential whether they had Fred VanVleet or they had Dennis Schroeder. They were not going to be past the 8 seed. Like, they're just.
Well, the reason I think that Dallas should go after Scotty Barnes is, at the end of the day, Toronto has too many wings.
If I were them, I'd go after OG Anunoby. Scotty Barnes plays more with the ball in his hand, and there's not enough basketball to go around. OG Anunoby is better at catch and shoot, better at catch and drive than Scotty Barnes.
I don't think. Well, I mean, okay. So this is what I want you to do: rank them in order of most valuable to Toronto.
Players?
Yeah.
I don't know what
Siakam
Toronto's doing. I don't know.
No. I'm just asking 3 players: Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes. Most important to least important.
Scotty Barnes. And I don't know. I don't know.
So you think Scotty Barnes is 1, the most valuable?
Yeah, they've already said they're building around him. They've already said that multiple times.
So then they need to move, I would assume, OG, because Siakam is an all-star. Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah.
That's what I just said. I just said that.
I think that they like OG more than... I'm very confident they like OG more than Scotty.
No, I think they just if they did, then they would be shopping Scotty Barnes, not OG. I think they know OG's value, and they don't. I don't think to get enough. They're treating OG almost like we treat John Collins in terms of trying to.
I think they love OG way more. I think they actually love him.
But in terms of the way that we tried to trade John Collins, we tried to. The people were saying that we wanted too much for John Collins. And I think it's
people are willing to pay a lot. People are willing to pay a lot for OG Anunoby, more than I actually think he's.
When John Collins was that where OG Anunoby was? Do you remember the trade rumors? There's a lot of people we could have gotten for John Collins when we beat the 76ers that year into these conference finals. There was a lot of people. Hell, they're talking about Jaylen Brown. Legit.
Well, I mean, you know how I said Jaylen Brown. At one point, I said trade Jaylen Brown for trade. They were like, no. Now you look at it now, they be like, trade Jaylen Brown for trade. Bro, get out of my face. Middleton stays in Milwaukee 3 years, $102 million.
Draymond contract,
I think
another deal where he opted out of the $40 million. Another deal where he opted out of the $40 million more money that he was owed, and then he re-signed for basically a $10 million, $7 million decrease per year.
I mean, I don't know why everybody was like, oh, maybe Middleton leaves. There's no chance in hell that Middleton was ever leaving. He is playing with Giannis. the chances are I don't get on a team that has a guy Giannis level or better.
There's
I'm
only
keeping my
two
ass.
other places you can go. You can to have a big and play the way that Middleton plays. It's Philly or Denver, and Denver is not changing anything. And Philly, you wouldn't want to go to Philly because that organization is poorly ran. So at this point, it's Middleton, and you got the defensive player. You got two defensive players of the year, 3 defensive player candidates in your starting 5, which means you get the 5th or 4th best defensive assignment. You only have to shoot. That's what you do. You go out there and shoot, and they paying you to be a catch and shoot guy.
And you've been hurt too. I think that I assume that all of the guys in Milwaukee are going to stay in Milwaukee. Because none of them are going to get paid an ungodly amount of money. And if you're not going to get paid an ungodly amount of money, then let's play with Giannis.
Yeah. You might as well. Ain't no point.
Next up, we'll talk about, actually, let's go to Fred VanVleet next. 3 years, $130 million. He is the newest Houston Rocket down there with Ime Udoka. I've been telling people, I've been shouting it from the rafters now for months and months and months on end.
You called this one.
The Rockets are a really good team. The Rockets have a bunch of good assets. They just needed a couple adults in the room, and they're going to be a team to be reckoned with. This is the adult in the room. He fixes their point guard situation. He is their point guard. Jalen Green can go to his natural position, I think, as a combo / shooting guard. Then you got big.
Like, let's pause if necessary, but that's all they got. No. Sengun.
You got Tari Eason or maybe Cam Whitmore that you would.
6'10".
Yeah. So you either have Tari Eason, who is a defensive monster and still a bucket on offense, or you go with the kid who dropped late in the draft, Cam Whitmore. I think that combination of small forward, if you just split them 24 and 24, you're going to get a lot of excellent young small forward play. And then front court wise, you got Jabari Smith, who I think his role, he's going to be the John Collins of this team. He's going to get kind of smushed because everybody else around him is so good. But I think he's good and competent and young in that position. I ultimately probably see him getting traded because when the money
floated a while back, I was like, if he's going to get traded and you're going to get rid of John, he'd be a good replacement.
Yeah, the money is not going to go to him. Fred VanVleet got some money. Jalen Green is going to get that money.
He got more than Kyrie. So
yeah,
go ahead. I'll let you finish your point.
Yeah. Fred VanVleet got the money. Jalen Green is going to be the guy to get their money. I think that Alperen Sengun, he's so good. He's so skilled. He's what everybody is looking for. If you want your Joker or if you want, the version down from that, Sabonis, Alperen Sengun is the next guy in that kind of evolution. They always make the Pokemon evolution joke. It looks to track. So yeah, it looks like Jabari Smith is probably the guy who ends up as the odd man out. Now he does have a couple years because he's a rookie, so you can really extend him, and then probably once he become a restricted free agent, sign and trade him to a team that needs him. But right now, y'all better. Hold on, wait. Right now, y'all better not play with this team. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Udoka has a skill set of making young teams good, i.e. the Boston Celtics. And this Rockets team has all the assets you need to do that. You give him a year, maybe 2 years, I can see this being a really scary team.
Okay. So Fred VanVleet got 3 years, $130 million, which I believe is like $43 million a year or something like that.
Yep.
Which means he got more than Kyrie. You think Fred VanVleet is better than Kyrie?
No. Well, let me kind of expel that out. I think that he's going to be more consistent. I think he's probably going to be easier to deal with. And he's an overpay, but you paid him to leave Toronto and come to Houston, where they're not paying anybody. So I'm really paying you for these first 2 years. Hopefully we can get these guys to a level where they can kind of, because Van Fleet ain't a spring chicken either. So you hope that Jalen Green kind of comes into his own. You hope that Alperen Sengun comes into his own. And then at that point, that'll be probably what I would probably assume to be the last year of Fred VanVleet's deal. You re-sign him to a much more reasonable deal. So instead of 42, maybe somewhere between like 25 to 30.
Breaking news: Heat, Clippers, and 76ers are engaging in a 3-team trade involving James Harden. I don't know what's happening. I can't open everything right now because I am also the producer of the show. So I have all this other stuff open. But right now, as we speak, Heat, Clippers, and 76ers are talking about a trade. I'm assuming it's involving James Harden. Back to Fred VanVleet while you look up the particulars of that proposed trade. I think that goes right back to my point about Kyrie. Fred VanVleet got this because he plays. He's not as good as Kyrie, but he plays more and he's a better locker room guy, which is what I was bringing up about Kyrie. Why would you pay somebody $42 million that for the past 3 years has shown that he is a detriment to the team, good or bad? Whatever his excuse for his behavior is, whether you believe it or not, whether you think about it or not, whatever you think about him, regardless, $42 million a year for somebody that has been shown to be work in terms of employably unstable. He's employably unstable. You don't know if he's going to decide, hey, I'm going to take 2 weeks off. And there's really nothing that you can do about it. Like, you don't know about that, so why would you pay somebody $42 million? But now you're paying Fred VanVleet, which is what you said. He's an easy locker room guy, and he also is the adult in the room, and he's more consistent. The consistency means he's going to play. He hasn't missed many games in his career. He's always going to be there. So I see why he got paid more than Kyrie, but there's no way. First of all, it's definitely overpaid. Let me tell you, I agree with you on there. Both of them. $43 million. But there's no way I'm paying Kyrie $42 million. You can go. You can leave. I'm not paying Kyrie $42 million a year. Y'all out your mind. Out your mind.
If you don't pay him, then you know who you and they say that Luka, was recruiting him. You got to do what Luka says because what you gonna do? You gonna lose them both?
And you can go get somebody. You can go get somebody. You can go get somebody.
They've been trying. They've been trying to get somebody every year, and you see what they come back with. Dwight Powell. Man, he said no.
Go get Fred. Go get Pascal Siakam. Get something. You can get somebody other than $42 million a year, Kyrie.
You can't go get Pascal Siakam because he said that I ain't signing nowhere. If you trade for me, I ain't staying. Okay. That to me at this point, there's not an update on this trade. This is alarming. It's interesting, but we do not have an answer at this point because there are so many. The Clippers, 76ers, and Heat all have so many players that could be traded and probably should be traded. I don't know what's happening
here. I don't even know how to speculate what this trade is other than Dame to Miami, James Harden to the Clippers, and then the 76ers get all of the role players.
Okay. Oh, well, we're gonna stay on track. Next up, Desmond Bane, 5 years, $207 million. This is not a no for me. This is a hell no for me. I think the Desmond Bane, I guess, is a good enough player, but you are going to regret paying Desmond Bane $207 million. And I'm gonna tell you this
is egregious.
And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Because he's not even the second best player on this team. If I'm Jaren Jackson Jr., I immediately want a new contract. I want a new contract right now. I don't care what you got to do. You will not see me again until I get paid at least what he gets paid as a defensive player of the year. No way in hell.
You signed it. That's how it goes, though.
Okay, well, I'm gonna show you how it goes too. I'm not going to come to practice. I'm not going to these games. I'm not going to talk to you anymore until y'all get this money going into my account. That's what we gonna do. I'm not playing, man. This is disrespectful. If I'm Jaren Jackson Jr., I'm butthurt. Y'all had all this money to pay him, and then y'all paid me $100 and something million. Fuck out of here. Y'all play defense. Matter of fact, put Steven Adams back at the 5. Y'all figure out something else at 4. It ain't me. Matter of fact, I would say call. Yeah. Nope.
So first,
put Marcus Smart at the 4. Hell, I don't care what y'all do.
Let me jump in. You had a lot of money. I agree. It's 100% an overpay. There's no way I'm paying Desmond.
It might be 100% overpay.
You just hold on. You let me. You paid him 5 years, $207 million, which equals out to, now that's incentive based. I think he has to make an All NBA team and all of that stuff. So I'm pretty sure it's really 5 years, 170 or 160, something like that, or maybe 130, because I believe it's incentive based. But $207 million. If he makes that, still $40 million a year for Desmond Bane, who did until injuries happened. He was off the bench. He wasn't even starting until all the injuries happened, and then Ja went crazy. So if you pay him, he now has to be your starting 2. So where does that leave Marcus Smart and Ja, unless he's your starting 3? Because there's no way he's not starting.
Wait. Let me be very clear. No, all of that money is guaranteed. They say 35 million, 24-25, 38 million, 25-26, 40 million, 26-27, 44 million, 27-28, 46 million, 28-29. No, sir. 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 I'm not taking it. I think that, and y'all, yeah, I think he's worth about half of this.
You think he's worth 5 years, $100 million?
Yes, maybe 125.
I think he had him bent over a rock a little bit, because
I can find another Desmond Bane.
Ja's crazy. You can find another Desmond Bane, but Desmond Bane is proven, and you don't know what's going to happen with Ja. Marcus Smart is older. Devin Brooks is already, isn't that his name? Devin Brooks?
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks is already out of there. So that leaves you with Jaren Jackson Jr. And then you basically had to pay him. Is it an overpay? Yes. The same thing to me about, it's the same kind of overpay that they paid Jordan Poole, right? They paid Jordan Poole because Draymond hit him and knocked him out, blinked his light. So you had to give him you had to give him $20 more million. This, while I don't understand the 207, because of everything else that has been happening around the Grizzlies, they went ahead and paid the only seemingly adult on their team. And I do agree with you though. If I'm Jaren Jackson Jr. and I'm didn't he just win Defensive Player of the Year? Like, and I'm Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I
want out.
Y'all gonna have to pay me.
No, I don't want you to pay me, because if you had this money and you gave it to him instead of me, I want out. There's no argument.
Well, no, this time they gave it to him because they got off Dylan Brooks. They paid Jaren Jackson Jr. with the thought of keeping those 4 together. It sucks that you got paid earlier than him. If it was the other way around, Jaren Jackson Jr. would have got 5 years, 207.
No.
100%.
He earned, hold on, let's look at this right there, 2022 Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr. His 26. There's no way that Desmond Bane is going to get 35 million and I'm going to get 26 million and I am the Defensive Player of the Year. Hell, I want out.
He's not.
Don't talk.
They're just gonna have to. They're gonna have to give him a bump in pay, a 1 year.
And on top of that,
1 year $50 million extension and spread it out over the 4 years.
I'm younger, and this contract is de-escalating. So next year it'll be 25 million, and the year after that it's
I want out. I want out. Trade me. We don't need to talk about anything else. I'm not interested in repairing this relationship. You picked your horse. And the other part about this is what do you think is going to happen with this second April? You've already paid Josh $50 million. You got Desmond Bain with $40 million. I want out.
It's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money that you paid for for Desmond Bain. Hopefully it works out. I listen. At the end of the day, it's no hate. We happy that everybody got paid, but from headphones were dead.
No, yeah, no. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, this is just bad. It's people spending money doing dumb shit. I don't. I mean, as much as the Hawks have been silent, people have been joking about the Knicks and whatnot. I think sometimes it's better to just, in this case, to do nothing than do something dumb. And I think this is where it is going right now.
So
and then
I wanted to talk about the Lakers. I think that they are kind of knocking it out of the park right now in terms of players that they're signing. I think they're knocking it out of the park right now with players that they're signing. I think Gabe Vincent. I don't know if he's. I do think. I think D'Lo had run its course there. He wasn't gonna stay. I think Gabe Vincent is a good role player for the way that they want to play. They want to play with LeBron at the top of the key, catch and shoot, Anthony Davis in the post. I think Rui was a great signing, especially at $17 million a year, because he is very versatile. He can guard basically the 1 through the 4, really 2 through the 4. He can guard 2 through the 4. We'll see what Austin Reeves does. Apparently they're gonna re-sign him. I think those are really good signings for the Lakers so far. Oh, they got Jackson Hayes, which you just need somebody. They just need another big body. I think he's an upgrade over Thomas Bryant. Like I think a lot of these are upgrades or maintaining what they had. Because remember, they only played for half a year together.
Wait. Didn't Thomas Bryant win a championship this year with the Nuggets?
Yes, remember they traded him.
Okay.
Or he requested his release to get more playing time and then did not play at all in Denver.
I don't hate the Jackson Hayes pickup, but I'm going to be very real about the Jackson Hayes pickup. Jackson Hayes has never started. Never.
Why do you assume he's going to start now?
So who's going to be the 5?
AD.
Who's going to be the 4?
LeBron.
Rui at the 3? Who at the 2?
Austin Reeves.
And who at the 1?
Oh, you're not looking at the screen?
Oh, you think that 2.5 assists Gabe Vincent is going to be your point guard?
No, I think he is going to be your guard. I think LeBron is your point, whatever, forward, guard, whatever. And I think that Gabe Vincent is a catch and shoot guy.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to tell you right now, this season's going to go down the drain real fast. That means that anytime that LeBron is off the floor, you have no shot creation.
Rui.
That also
I think you stagger Rui. Rui, they're going to see what they have with Rui in terms of being able to create his own shot.
Rui No. I'm talking about for other people. LeBron is the only person who on this roster who can create a shot for somebody else. Not a chance. That means that basically,
well, who else are you gonna play? Who else they gonna play?
I think that you stick with. Do you think that Gabe Vincent is better than D'Angelo Russell?
No, but the money is cheaper. If D'Angelo comes back on a discount, then you start D'Angelo. But if D'Angelo comes back and he still wants $30-something million a year, 28 million, 25 million.
I think he's probably a $15 to $20 million player.
You better sign. You better run for this same deal that Rui Hachimura signed. $17 million a year is what D'Angelo need to sign for the Lakers and come back to the Lakers.
But yeah, I think that they still need a point guard, or this doesn't work. If you're dependent on LeBron to be your point guard, and at 40 years old, you're wasting everybody's time here. I think that's why I don't really like any of these. I like Rui, sure, but it doesn't change anything for me. I like Gabe, sure, but it doesn't really change anything for me. I like Jackson Hayes, but it doesn't really change anything for me. You know, for me overall, this is just more kind of the same.
What do you mean it doesn't change any? Like, they were in the Western Conference Finals. I mean, I think there's not much to change. You have to just get better at the role players. The team's definitely built by LeBron and AD. If they stay healthy, you just needed to upgrade the role players.
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't have a very good outlook for the Lakers next season. Good luck and Godspeed to you guys.
We didn't have it this
But
season,
yeah,
and they made it to the Western Conference Finals.
I think there is going to be a tumultuous year for them next. Um, free agency has been interesting. I wish we could sit on here. Well, I got to have some point of my own Saturday. But we will keep you guys updated on this trade as it progresses. I am very sure that this thing is probably not going to happen fast. And as soon as I say that, watch Woj drop a Woj song. But yeah, that 3-team trade is what I assume everybody's looking at right now, and nobody has any answers.
Ooh, there's a lot of hate though. Dame's preferred destination is Miami. Told y'all. I told y'all it was about to happen. I told y'all.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
I'm interested to see what Philly's gonna do, because if James wants out of there, what? Philly can't keep Paul George, can they? I guess that's really the last thing I wanted to talk about.
Paul George not up for trade. In anything that I've seen so far, the deals that I've heard that involve Dame, Paul George is not not an asset up for trade.
So if you're Philly, what do you do? Because now you have Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, and Joel Embiid. And I'm assuming Tobias Harris is on the chopping block as well. I wouldn't, but what do you do?
I mean, Tobias could be traded because I think he's an expiring contract.
Yeah, but what? So does Philly punt on this year?
No, I'm moving Tobias. I would.
What are you?
You might have to mortgage. I'm reaching out to OKC because OKC does have a logjam. I think they have too many good players now, and one of these guys ain't gonna make it to the promised land. So I'm trying to get one of those guys who I think I can get cheaper than I can get. Because yeah. You're looking at SGA. He's a lot. Josh Giddey, I would assume, is a lot. I'm gonna tell you the person who I'm interested in is probably Jalen Williams if I'm the Sixers. I'll give you, the kid from Kansas.
Oh, and I forgot. What's his name? Signed Derrick Rose too, Memphis.
Inconsequential. I don't even understand why people continue to pay Derrick Rose. But yeah, he's 6'6". He's a guard / forward. He can facilitate and he can shoot. I think that I send them to Tobias and 2 firsts in alternating years.
Oh, which Jalen? Which one? I guess the rookie.
Jalen Williams, the dude, the pro, and the one lock. Yeah, that's the guy who I'm interested in. He fixes the money situation. You could probably then go pay.
Breaking. Damian Lillard and Portland are only focusing on a trade to the Miami Heat.
But yeah. Or yeah. I want Jalen Williams. I might also focus yesterday too. Just
Well, they need a point
guard. But that's the reason with Jalen Williams' money, you could then go pay D'Angelo Russell. I could pay D'Angelo Russell $20 million. I could keep Tyrese Maxey. I could pay Jalen Williams at the
and y'all are playing with fire, not extending Maxey this year.
Oh yeah,
Philly, y'all are playing with fire because if he gets
they're not
better,
playing with fire.
If he gets
they
better,
burned themselves. You want to know what the problem is? Desmond Bane. Because who do you think is better, Maxey or Bane? I'm gonna say Max. And if Bane got 207, what you think Maxie on?
207.
At least comparable.
207.
Even if you think they're locked dead even. Even if he was to take a pay cut to stay with MB, it's still $180 million. You're still gonna overpay him.
Should it? And as soon as they announced that they are not extending Tyrese Maxey this year, Desmond Bane signed for 5 years, $207 million. 4 hours later, I was like, y'all probably just cost yourself in 4 hours $10 million per hour by not signing him.
Yep. Soon as that Desmond Bane, right? Hey, good luck and Godspeed. I will tell you, this is going to be the NBA of the third expensive wheel getting the hell out of there. That's the reason I keep making these Toronto jokes. I think that Toronto is headed downward, and I think that they're about to be the new OKC. Them and the Wizards, who are just collecting contracts and draft picks. So all you guys who are getting all this money, you need to look when you go into practice every day. And you're not the first best guy or the second best guy. If you're not the first best guy or the second best guy, then you should understand that, hey, at the money that I'm getting paid, I might be in Toronto or I might be in D.C. with Primo at Park on 14th any day. And that's the harsh reality.
It is. It is.
But you're rich. You're rich.
So, does Embiid force his way out?
So where? I don't think I know where to go.
Anywhere anywhere you want to go.
Anywhere you go, you're just gonna be starting over there. Whatever it takes, whatever team is gonna get Embiid is going to have to give up everything else to get Embiid.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised I didn't see anything with Minnesota. Like they signed Naz Reid. I think they signed.
They signed a couple players. Minnesota they've been mobbing on the low quietly. I honestly think that they've made some decent. But Minnesota's issue is the front court. The rest of that.
They signed Shake Milton, which is not.
Yep,
that's not
like,
bad.
I think that's a good pick. I think it's a very good pickup. You got some more guard creation.
They re-signed Nickeil Alexander, I believe.
Like they didn't do bad, but none of that matters until you figure out Rudy and Karl-Anthony Towns how they can play together.
Which is the thought I thought. I thought that they would have traded Karl-Anthony Towns, personally. You can't trade Rudy. I thought they would have traded Karl-Anthony Towns to get some of those picks they traded for Rudy back.
And quietly, I know that people keep talking about the Brooklyn Nets. I think that Ben Simmons has to. I'm sure they're going to try to move him again.
They trying to get him to Minnesota.
Whatever y'all do, if y'all don't want to create a new super team, do not allow Brooklyn to get rid of Ben Simmons. That is their only issue. And if you alleviate that from them, then they're flying free and clear.
Brooklyn could trade Ben Simmons for Karl-Anthony Towns.
It kind of clears the front court, but then you're stuck with it. Ben Simmons' contract is like 3 more years.
Karl-Anthony Towns is like 4.
Karl-Anthony Towns I think has 5 years.
Yeah.
No, I think he has 4. I think he has 4 more years. I think Ben Simmons has 2 more years. But Karl-Anthony Towns, he played
he missed 60 games this year.
COVID.
It was just sick. It wasn't COVID.
Well, it was cover recovery, but he's not a person who over his career misses a ton of games. Like he's typically available and he plays. He may not play no defense, but if you could get him to Brooklyn with Nick Claxton.
Karl-Anthony Towns has only played 1, 2, 3, 4. In the last 4 years, when did COVID hit?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
So 2019, he played 35 games. 2020, he played 50 games. 2021, he played 74. 2022, he played 29. He's only played 50 games or more once in the last 4 years.
Now I will say one of those years was COVID. Another year, like half his family died. Like that's rough.
Yeah, I think that was 2019.
That's, the way he got hit was that was a whole different ball game. But thank you guys for coming to rock with us on Saturday Morning Live. You will see us soon and very soon on Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Always remember, like, follow, subscribe. We did have an episode come out this week, episode 109. JC is free. Congratulations on John Collins going to Utah. Flashcast 36 pack is out on all DSPs. And outside of that, man, y'all enjoy y'all Saturday. And yeah, I guess we'll see y'all for the holidays. But y'all be easy.
Y'all be safe. Love y'all. Peace.
Adios, mi amigos. Till next Saturday.